I guess the biggest one would be is I can't afford it. But that's not totally true. I mean, if you have a group of people and you pre-plan ahead and you budget for it just like you would for any vacation, um, you can pre-plan it and typically get a round trip flight like from Houston to Las Vegas for maybe a couple $1,000s per person on splitting it up with your friends or family.
Okay. Great. So, do you? I know you mentioned a couple different pieces of your clientele. Do you do quite a bit with business aviation?
So business aviation, we do quite a bit, and that I guess the question would we work with a lot of different businesses also in aviation and not in aviation, but you know, we try to have transparency with a lot of other businesses and work together to help each other. So uh, in that aspect, we strive to do that for everybody.
When does it make sense for a business to start flying private, to start flying their executives or their employees private?
Well, when time means everything to you, to have your employees at one location and then a second or third location, possibly in the same day, or have them back by the same night so that they can be productive their next day at work, that's when I would say it's very beneficial for any business that can afford to do it because you'll get more productivity and your people will be back home with their family and not away. And so that's where we really come in handy with a lot of our flights.
Okay, great. So you could say that it really starts to justify when they want to cut down the time and they're willing to pay the extra cost for it.
For sure, because that's really what we're all about is time savings. I mean, you can go sit at an airline and get there 2 or 3 hours before, and in some cases have delays and not even make it to your destination in the same day. Sometimes 2 days, and that's where we really come into play. Is we'll be able to go to that destination and back in the same amount of time that it took you to drive to the airport and go through security TSA and board the plane. You'll be done with your meeting and back home before you ever left the ground.
Yeah, and that's great. I know I've had the opportunity to fly with you at one point, and then to fly. I've gotten lucky a few other times with some friends that I knew that had planes and things like that, where I was able to go through the experience. And so, for people who don't understand or haven't been through the experience, uh, let's just give them an idea of how much time you can actually save. When you show up to the private terminal at any airport, from the time you show up to the time you're leaving, how much time is actually spent?
Well, on a private side, it takes basically about 5 minutes to drive up to the plane, walk to the plane, and we load your baggage and check your ID, and then we're doing our briefing and starting engines and taxiing out. So, I mean, realistically, in some cases, 5 minutes or less. I mean, we can be taxiing out and going. That's what's so nice
Wow,
about it
that's
is not having to sit in traffic so long and find parking spots. And I mean, we're we're maximizing the time and the day and making it very productive. And that's where we really help people.
yeah, no crazy security, bag checks, anything. Like people are used to flying commercial, and then pretty much as long as the plane is there and you're there, you can get going pretty quickly. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, our
what?
crew's on top of things.
Yeah, that's great. So what industries do you see using private aviation the most when it comes to the business side?
Um, you know, Private corporations for sure use business aviation a lot to save time and get people moved around. There's so many different types. The world is so huge and so many different businesses. I mean, you'd be surprised sometimes. There's companies that you wouldn't think use aviation, and it helps them tremendously. And especially when they have multiple locations, it's a big help for them.